Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be having a look at the most powerful DAX function in Power BI, which is the calculate function. And you might wonder why we need calculate, and in this video I'm going to show you not only how calculate works, but also why it's critical for building dynamic, reusable and advanced calculations. So let's get started by looking at an example. So the example I'm going to be walking through in this video is just some simple sales data. So in the first column we've got order ID, in the second column we've got the region the sale was made, the third column is the product sold, the fourth column is the sales amount, and then the year in which it was sold. And for this we're going to be interested in the total sales amount. So what I've done is I've already created a measure using the sum function. And what this essentially does is we sum the sales data sales amount, so it's the sum of this column. So let's have a look how this works in the visual mode. So in the visual mode, I've just recreated this table, and we sum this column, and this is the automatic total built in on the table of Power BI. We get 10,000, and this is a card with the total sales measure showing that we've got 10,000. And we can use slices that I've brought in to have a look at different things we may be interested in. So we might just be interested in sales for 2023. And this measure dynamically changes when we use that filter button. But we may not want to rely on user interaction to calculate these kind of things. And this is where the calculate function comes in handy, because it allows us to filter within the function. So let's have a look at how the calculate function is set up. This page shows how the calculate expression function looks. So at the top here, this is just a generic example. So the calculate function, firstly, it must take an expression. 100% must have an expression for this to work. And in the case that I've just shown, we're going to be using the expression of the sales data, sales. And then we can apply filters to the calculate function. And in order for the calculate function to work, you must apply at least one filter, but you can apply infinitely many. So below I've got some examples that you might be interested in calculating. So the first one is the sum of the sales data, and we're only in this case interested in filtering for the year 2023. Another example is the same sales data sum, but only sales made in the North region. And the third example could be applying two filters where we're only interested in sales made in the North region and 2023. So let's go back into Power BI and have a look how this works. Okay, so now in Power BI we're going to recreate those measures to be able to understand how they work. So let's create the measure of sales in 2023. So what we're going to do is we're going to type it out here. Total sales 2023 we're going to call the measure. And that is going to use the calculate function that we're going to call in, and we need an expression which is the sum of the sales data sales amount, which we're just going to use the pre-fill there. And now we're interested in our filter expression. So we're going to filter for the year, and we're going to bring in our year column from the sales data, and we're interested in values that are equal to 2023. So let's accept that, and we're going to bring in another card to see what we get. So we're going to bring this card in, and we're going to bring in our measure, and we get 5.1k. And now if you're interested in making this measure into a currency, you can just click the measure on the right hand column, go up to measure tools, and the format should come up that we can change, and we're just going to change it to pounds, so it's in line with everything else in the page. So we get 5.1k. So this is the sales amount in 2023. Now if we use the slicer button for 2023 and it updates what we should get is this table filters for all the 2023 sales, and this measure also should. So let's click it. Yeah, so we get 5.1k. Let's unclick it. Let's create the second measure that we were interested in. Go onto the right again, right click, new measure. Okay, and now we're going to be interested in sales that are only in the North region. Let's do total sales North equals, and we're going to call the calculate function. And we're going to go sum sales data sales amount, which is what we're interested in. And we're going to create our filter function. And for our filter this time, what we're interested in is sales in North region. So we're going to go sales data region equals, we need to put it in speech marks because it's a string, and close that out. And what we should get is, if we bring in another card, just put this down here, and we get 3.8k. And again, if we want to make this into a pound symbol, we can just go up here and press the pound button. We'll get 3.8k. Now what we should find is that if we click the North region, our total sales filters to 3.8k, and this is in line with the measure that we just created here. And what's happened with this one is, if we already had a 2023 filter internally applied in it from the measure as we filtered for 2023, and this is just for North sales that happened in 2023. So if we click this 2023 filter button, what we should find is both the top and the bottom filter should turn into 1.8k. Yeah, as we expected. So let's show how that could look in a calculate function where we want to have more than one filter option. Let's deselect that, and we're going to do a new measure, and this time we're interested in the total sales of North region 2023. So we're going to call in the calculate function again, and our expression, it remains the same. It is the sum of the sales amount. And okay, our first filter is we're interested in the year of the year column, that's equal to 2023. And our second filter is that the sales data region equals North. So now, if we apply this and bring in our card, a new card with sales region North 2023, get 1.8k. Let's just make this measure pound symbol just for consistency. And what we find is that, yeah, we get 1.8k. So let's filter things again. So let's just run through it. We've got our total sales for this column is 10k, and now what we've done is we've calculated the 2023 sales, which is the same as just a normal measure where we'll just use the sum. If we click the slicer button, we get 5.1k. And now if we filter this for both 2023 and North, we should get 1.8k. So what I hope you can see for this is that the calculate interacts with the slices dynamically, and it also allows you to filter the data directly within your measures, which offers good flexibility that slices can't match, and it also means that users can't mess up what is happening in your calculations. So I hope you found that helpful, and thank you for listening.